I can't believe this frosting and this cake had just silken tofu added. What happens if you use silken tofu to bake a chocolate cake? Let's find out. Not only is silken tofu great for replacing eggs and oil in a recipe, it actually adds a bunch of protein. Check it out. I'm going to use this chocolate cake mix from Whole Foods, but you can use your favorite chocolate cake recipe or your favorite chocolate cake mix. And I love using a bread machine, so I'm going to use that to bake this chocolate cake today. First, you need to blend your silken tofu to make it nice and smooth and creamy. I'm going to use my KitchenAid hand blender, but you can use any type of blender or food processor. The best part is this recipe just requires 2 or 3 ingredients. 1 packaged chocolate cake mix, any kind. 16 ounces of silken tofu. I'm using the Whole Foods brand. And optional, you can add 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking powder to give this cake a little bit of extra rise. We're going to use the whole 16-ounce package to make this chocolate cake today. Add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I make my baking powder from scratch, and I have a video on my channel of how to do that. Stir to combine the baking powder in with the baking mix. Now add the pureed silken tofu to the cake mix. Use a whisk to mix it really well together. It's a little thick. Make sure there aren't any clumps. Get all that batter. Now I'm going to pour the batter into my bread machine canister. If you're using a bread machine, you don't need the paddle attachment. It smells like chocolate pudding. Now you can spread the batter to kind of make it even. Also, give it a little tap to get any air bubbles out. Now I'm going to place it into my bread machine. Close the lid. Set it to bake only because we've already mixed all of the cake batter together. While my cake's baking, I'm going to make a chocolate frosting. Instead of milk and butter, I'm just going to use some silken tofu. Not only is this an easy oil-free frosting to make, it also adds extra protein. I'm going to use a box frosting mix from Whole Foods, but you can use any type of frosting recipe that you prefer. And instead of adding the butter, you're going to just use silken tofu. First, you need to blend the tofu so that it's nice and creamy. I'm going to use my KitchenAid hand blender, but you can use any blender that you prefer. You'll need 8 ounces, or you can measure 1 cup from a cup measure. Now we're going to blend the silken tofu till it's nice and creamy. You don't want any lumps. Now I'm going to transfer the silken tofu to a mixing bowl. Then I'm going to add this chocolate frosting mix with the silken tofu. This is an 8-ounce package of chocolate frosting mix. To make this extra rich, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chocolate cacao powder. Now I'm going to use my KitchenAid hand mixer to whip this all up into delicious, creamy chocolate frosting. Make sure there aren't any lumps. I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator to set up while my chocolate cake is baking in my bread machine. It looks like it rose completely in the center, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna let this cool completely before I frost it, slice it, and serve it. I ended up cooking this for 55 minutes in my bread machine. Cake is ready and it's cooled. Let's slice it open. Frosting is chilled. It's like pudding chocolate frosting. So this made a really fudgy cake. So if you want less fudgy, more fluffy, use 1/2 of a package of silken tofu. Oh, let's frost it first. Here's what the frosting looks like that I made with just silken tofu and frosting mix. Wow, look at that. I can't believe this frosting and this cake had just silken tofu added. Oh, it's spreading so smooth and it's set up really nice. Let's slice it. I literally have frosting all over. It's super dense and moist. It's kind of like a brownie chocolate cake. Let's taste it. Mmm.